I was pretty late to the party with the M1 Max, picking up my MacBook Air M1 in July of this year, and I've absolutely loved using it ever since. It's a phenomenal computer, and the very fact that I can use this computer for all aspects of my daily work, from voiceover editing to 4K video creation to music production, is really staggering. I've made a review of the M1 MacBook Air, and I'll link to that video in the description of this one. So it would be fair to say that I hadn't anticipated back in July that I'd be purchasing another Mac, certainly not another Mac laptop so soon after. Yet here we are, unboxing a 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook Pro just a few months later. Now, in my defense, I run a tech channel which I'm trying to grow, and you can only really grow a tech channel if you feature tech. And I've gone for the entry-level MacBook Pro with no changes or tweaks made to it. This is the 14-inch model with the M1 Pro chip with 8 CPU cores, 14 GPU cores, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 512GB SSD. Because I think that this is the most obvious upgrade path or purchasing dilemma for most people. If you're weighing up an M1 laptop versus an M1 Pro laptop, you're not likely to then cough up another £1,000 to get more RAM, more SSD, more cores. I think it's going to be an M1 computer or this, and so I really wanted to spend some time seeing how the two computers compare, so keep an eye out for that content in the coming weeks, where I'll put this up against my M1 MacBook Air in a range of situations. But for now, let me show you the unboxing and give you my initial thoughts, having played around with this for the past 24 hours. And I have to say, my first thought, understandably, is how big and heavy this thing feels when compared to the MacBook Air, but with good reason. I'm still not sure about the design. I said that when I first watched the keynote, and I stand by that thought even now, seeing this in the flesh and using it. It's a MacBook, there's no denying that, but the bulkiness of it, the more squared design reminiscent of the old Mac PowerBooks, I'm hoping that the design is going to grow on me. I'll touch back on it in my in-depth review in a week or so. I don't hate it or anything like that, I just don't love it, not yet anyway. It feels extremely different, that's for certain, especially when compared to my MacBook Air, the computer I've been using most recently. It feels blocky and bulky when you pick it up, and your fingers kind of naturally rub along the exhaust vents at the bottom, something that doesn't exist on the MacBook Air. The display feels slightly rounded, almost smoother when you grab it to open or close the computer, compared with an almost sharper feeling that you get on the Air. It's hard to describe, that's about the best I can do. I do in fairness really like the etched-in MacBook Pro emblem on the bottom of the computer. I think that's a nice touch, even though you're almost never going to see it. I don't care about the Apple logo not lighting up, I'm not looking at the back of the computer when I'm working on it, and I'm not one of these people that likes to draw attention to what gear I'm using when I'm out in public. I love that we've got some ports back again, although for me, it's mainly going to be the card reader and the additional Thunderbolt 4 port that I care about. I'm not likely to need HDMI. MagSafe is of course back, although when I'm at home, I'll be docking this with my Pro Display XDR, which does mean I'll be able to charge via USB-C, and thankfully you can charge via any of these ports as well as MagSafe. The MagSafe will probably become my travel power cable instead. Something to point out is that the power adapter that comes with this entry-level computer is the slower charging one. This is the 67-watt charger, not the 96-watt charger that comes with the higher spec models. It's not really an issue for me personally, but if this is something that you think you're likely to care about, do keep this in mind. Okay, the screen, and it's amazing from what I've seen so far. It's super bright, which was a trade-off that I had to make when switching to the M1 MacBook Air. That screen is bright enough to be usable, but it's so noticeable here how much brighter these new screens are. I'm actually really quite blown away by how dull this screen makes the MacBook Air screen feel in comparison. And the ProMotion looks great. You don't get to experience this as fully as you should just yet, as not many apps, not even first-party Apple ones, have been updated to take advantage of it, but even just system animations, jumping in and out of apps, they all feature it, and it really does look slick. I love that now my iPhone, iPad, and Mac, my three main computing devices, all now feature it. That notch is going to take a bit of getting used to, although I'm already finding myself forgetting it's there, and I do appreciate the extremely thin bezels that come with it. Shame about no Face ID, I really hope they bring that in with the next generation, and the Touch ID works as brilliantly as you'd expect. The keyboard is great. I do a lot of typing work on my MacBook Air, and I really enjoy typing on that keyboard. This one is just as good, if not better, and I actually like the black on black look that Apple have gone for with it. The full-size function keys up at the top are cool, not a deal breaker for me either way to be honest, and as much as I enjoyed having the touch bar on my previous 13-inch MacBook Pro, I haven't missed it at all these past few months, so maybe Apple was correct about it being a bit redundant. This thing also sounds amazing, probably not surprising when you consider the number and the quality of speakers that have been packed into it, but it's still really enjoyable to hear. I'll be honest, if I'm at home, I've usually got this hooked up to my Apollo interface, and if I'm away, I'm typically using my AirPods, but it is nice to know that you can crank the volume up and have good quality sound coming out of this computer. It definitely sounds much better than the Air. Other than that, this is a very typical Mac in every way. There's a part of me that feels almost like having an M1 MacBook Air has kind of spoiled this for me a little. That computer is so fast and so capable, I don't really feel like this is noticeably more fast in regular day-to-day stuff. Apps open up blisteringly quick on both computers, and I rarely ever get the beach ball of death on the Air. I think it's going to be as I start to use this for my daily work that I notice a difference, and I'm already working on some follow-up videos where I'll compare these two computers for video editing, for audio work, and for office and student work, so do subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see that content in the next couple of weeks. I'll leave this video there and spend a bit more time with this before creating a full review also. What about you? Have you picked up an M1 Pro or Max computer? If yes, what do you think of them? If not, why not? Drop me a comment and let's talk about it. And as ever, if you found this video useful, do please consider leaving me a like and subscribing to my channel for more content like this in the future. See you on the next video.